Yeah, Barking was a good place. It was safe. Most of our mums and dads didn't come from this area. They came from all over London because there was nowhere to live. So they built these massive housing estates.
Yeah, it's a three-bedroom corner house on a council estate, the largest council estate in Europe, which was ultimately built, or predominantly built for Ford workers to work in the car factories in Dagenham. It was, yeah. I mean, it's sort of a villagey type, although a big council estate. Everybody knew each other because you walked to everyone's houses. Everyone lived within, a 10-minute walk of you. So there were people that you steered clear of, and like in any situation, I guess. We lived in one bedroom with five beds across the room, me and four brothers. It was okay. You just whatever's normal is normal.
I had lots of friends, but they were always the girls who were not the popular girls. There was like other girls who were like the it girls, but we were just the odd bods.
It was a bit of a wild child, really, from sort of 15 probably to 19. Yeah, sort of was in a lot of trouble all the time, and Angers was with the wrong crowd and wrong group all the time.
Yeah, yeah, we sort of grew up together. A lot of them went off and got married early, got boyfriends, got married early, really early. Yeah, marriage wasn't on the top of my list of priorities at the time, so.
There's just a lot of teenage stuff. There was all sorts of stuff going on, fighting and drinking and violence and stuff like that, and everything really, just all stupid stuff, all ridiculous stuff. You know, juvenile delinquent stuff. Well, went to a lot of the local pubs, but as a teenager, went to all the pubs around Barking and Dagenham, where you knew lots of people. When there was a group of 20 or 30 of us from school that would meet in certain pubs.
The pubs in the East End meant to the community everything. It was a place to meet. It was a diversion for life after the war. It meant everything.
Well, in all the big council estates all around the East End, all had their own pubs on the edge of the estates and in the estates, and all around where I know, around Poplar and Bow and all those places. Where my dad would take my mum out on a Saturday night, they'd drive from Dagenham back to the East End to go for a drink because they felt more comfortable in the pubs in the East End where they were both from.
My brother Ronnie was a publican, probably the best publican in the world. He won all sorts of awards. He ran it like a military operation. He had the cleanest pubs. He was the hardest worker. He was the greatest host. And then this New Year's Eve, he had a fancy dress. He was dressed as Superman. So the pub was sort of like full of people. There'd always be a punch up round the snooker tables, normally whatever time. So my brother's running around like Superman, and I was absolutely laughing my head off because I thought it's Superman trying to stop this fight in this pub. So the fight got bigger and bigger and bigger until everybody was fighting. So my brother ran up on the stage and he went, "Right, my family upstairs, and you can smash the place up." But then he's done the Superman sign, and it was just everybody went absolutely crazy.
Right. Well, the volunteer was a sort of a community pub on the edge of Thamesview Estate, which is quite a rough council estate, in all honesty. One of these places that if you went in there as an outsider, like most pubs, and you weren't from the estate or you looked like you asked him for trouble really, and so you just generally didn't go into places like that unless you sort of was with someone who was from there or you felt comfortable going in.
drinking would have a big part to play in it because all your inhibitions went, and you wanted to be a tough guy, I think, with the boys.
Yeah, and then prior to, I'm guessing if you compared it to now, where CCTV is everywhere, you know, then pub violence around drink was massive then, absolutely massive. I'm not sure people set out to go to the pub to look for a fight, unless it was football related or it was gang related or something like that. But generally, I think people just went to the pub because basically there was nothing else to do.
Football all over the country and the East End was, well, the East End, yes. It was territorial. It was you took pride in your team.
Okay, well, I'm a West Ham fan. We're quite notorious. They have an organisation called the ICF, and right through the 70s, 80s and 90s even, West Ham fans were one of the worst for travelling around the country fighting, basically, with other sets of football supporters.
There would always be trouble in the pub. There was a lot of drinking before. It was part of the day out. It was meet in the pub, have a load to drink, go in the ground, have some more to drink, come out the pub, meet all the other fans, and have a rampage through the streets.
And conversely, when visiting teams came to London and came to West Ham, the same happened there. So if Millwall came to town, or Tottenham, or Chelsea, or any of those clubs, it was always invariably ended up in a mass fight in or outside the pubs.
I say it's changed for the worse. It's dangerous. You wouldn't walk round Barking of a night, which we used to do. We used to, it wasn't dangerous then.
Well, as you've rightly said, it's sort of ripped the heart out of most of the communities and stuff, and so, you know, for the pub, you just can't see many pubs opening. I mean, I say that so many more are at risk of going under, which is a shame for the whole community. I think there's something like 60 pubs a week that close in Britain, that now they've closed, there's taken away all the community hub that was there to, you know, if you wanted to be in a pigeon racing club, you could find that in a local pub, or if you wanted to play cribbage, or you wanted to play dominoes, or you wanted to play darts or pool, you could do it in the pub. I
think the non-drinking communities moved into the area, and where it was, the pubs were there for the community, they had a demand, all those people moved out. That they bought their own places when, they sold their council houses, moved to Hornchurch, Upminster, and then the people who moved in were non-drinkers. Yeah, I mean, obviously East London is really gentrified now, and the pubs that, were then, and now there are, as I've said, predominantly blocks of flats and fancy apartments. There's still the odd good pub here and there, but in the main, no, they're sort of all gone, which is tragic.